right off the bat of Infocom, Neil has flown over to I think you were at the New York office first, and now you're at the New Jersey, is it Customer Experience Center?
Yeah, absolutely. So our New York office, we've got a new experience center which we're building in downtown New York. So that's going to be on 200 Lexington. Not quite ready yet. So September, I was down there yesterday, sneak peek, but not ready for prime time yet. September is the date we're going to be opening that. So I come up to New Jersey, which is the mothership of Crestron. There's like 4 offices here in the campus, and I'm bringing you behind the scenes in the Customer Experience Center here at Crestron.
This is awesome. I've been here, but not for a couple of years. So I want to get the full tour. I'm going to go through all the kind of Microsoft Teams rooms and scenarios as we go, right?
All right, so here we are. Let me just give you, I'll try not to make you too seasick as we walk around. So this is a kind of welcome entrance where we have all the displays. You can see, obviously, we've got Microsoft Crestron, AirMedia's in here and showing like a video wall. You can see kind of down there, then you're going to see my pointy finger. Let me take you, well, let's go to the Crestron House first. Not much Microsoft there, but it's really good fun. So Crestron, obviously, we've got our residential portfolio and our commercial portfolio. So when you come in here, we've got a mocked up house. So through the front door of the house, we've got our Yale lock, which is obviously all synced up to Crestron, all kind of working from home kind of desk here. And then you've got the kind of lounge area, which is really nice, obviously Crestron lighting, Crestron shades. And then I'll try not to pan too fast. Kitchen area, and again, all synced up, so all the cookers synced up, the coffee machines and the blinds and the shades and the lighting's all hooked up.
This is the house we all aspire to, like one Crestron panel to do everything.
I'm gonna move in here. Yeah, I don't need to stay in a hotel. I should come and just stay here. So obviously there's like an outside deck patio area in there, and then the coolest part, which is to say, I'm not sure if anyone has actually stayed in the Crestron bedroom, but here is the Crestron boudoir in the house. And again, we've got like a virtual inset display. It's like a virtual mirror as well when you turn it off, and then obviously the shades and the lighting. So again, this is our kind of residential space where we can kind of showcase all of the Crestron home and Crestron residential piece. Let's go around here. And we'll go through this main piece, and I'll take you over to one of the rooms where we've got our i12s set up, which are now Teams certified. So really excited about that. Optical cameras certified for Teams, running on Crestron Flex. A lovely video wall.
Yeah, this is really cool. So this is 2 optical. all right. This is two of the optical cameras, and the key thing here is there's no controller box, so these are USB into an MTR, but you can still run 2 cameras, and maybe you can get us dialed into a call. We can see how they work.
So the way in which it works, so the primary camera, which in this case is the one underneath the screen, that's directly connected to the Flex Windows MTR via USB. The secondary camera, let's call it a slave camera, which is up on the wall at the back, this is IP connected. So that one's not connected to the Flex. So that one pairs over the network to the primary camera.
I see. So that's how they talk to each other. So one is the master into MTR. It makes sense actually, because then you've got kind of one feed going to the MTR. The MTR probably thinks it's a single camera effectively, and the system's making the choice.
Absolutely. And the cool thing about it is you're not then limited on USB cable length, because imagine, again, this room's like, I don't know, 10-meter room, 11-meter room. You'd run out of, USB 3 is 3-meter cable length. So the fact we can do it over IP, you can put that secondary camera wherever you want, that you've got a Cat 5, Cat 6 IP connection there. So let me just, I've got a call. They thankfully set up loads of calls for me to demo this. So I'm just going to join this Teams call here on the Flex. This is obviously a Crestron Flex MTR system. So you'll see me then pop up and appear on the display there. So that's the front camera that's getting me, and it's going to switch to like a group frame mode of everybody in the room here, and then it's going to see me and hear me and sort of track in on me. But what's really cool is if I go around the front of the room, and what I'll do is I'll keep you on the screen, and then I'm going to turn it. I'll try and do this. So I'm not looking at the camera phone anymore. So I'm on the back camera. You need to give your face to the other camera. Yeah. Now you can tell me if it's working or not, because I have no idea.
Yeah. It's framed you up nicely.
So now it's the back camera, and this is in like a presenter mode. So again, if I kind of move around here, again, I'm hoping this is kind of working.
And this is the classic scenario, right? You've got a room like that, and then people stand up to present to the room, and you've got somebody remote. They're now getting the person presenting point of view.
The classic one was, I think, Microsoft put this the best, where there was one of the execs that said, every time I dial into the room, I get butt cam, which was, the camera just got the back of my butt rather than actually my face. Whereas so with this, obviously it switches to that. And again, as I walk back round the room, it will then detect and switch to the front camera in a second. We've got, there you go. So now it's switched back to the front camera. That will then find me and track in. And again, there's no Automate VX in here. Again, this is just two cameras. One's connected by USB to the Flex MTR system. The other one is connected over IP to the first one, and that's how it pairs. And again, when I look at that one, it will then frame in on me there. And then when I look at that one, it will then frame in and pull me up on the front camera there. And there it is. There. So
that's because you've got
really cool.
You've got no Automate VX box here, so you're coming in at a much more aggressive price point for just two cameras, which is really nice.
Yeah. It's just literally two I12 cameras, an IP connection between the two, and away you go. Now, obviously, disconnect the call, camera goes back to sleep, hides away, so people aren't worried that it's kind of listening in and watching in on them in there. So that's kind of your kind of baby kind of room. Obviously, not really kind of Teams, the focus, but we've got all of our NVX and DM digital media essentials here. So you can see all the kind of AV over IP solutions, the NAX audio distribution systems in this kind of area here, which is really cool. Where should we go now? Let's go, I guess, around here. We were talking earlier about some of the other teams certified stuff. So we've got our Flex pods as well. There's lighting.
Yeah, these are recently certified, aren't they?
Yeah, there's some lighting stuff here as well. I've got to try and work out, remember my route now. Let's go around the back of the house. I get lost in this place. Go around here. This person at the desk here is amazing. This is Tracy. Tracy, give everybody a wave. She's awesome. She's helping me out and setting all this up. Now, again, not team certified, but we've got our desk touch here for these desks. So desk scheduling pods.
There. Yeah, interesting future conversation there with kind of places knocking about. We'll see how that pans out.
Yeah. So this is where we've got the Flex pods set up. So this is, again, a sort of small kind of huddle room, small person kind of mock-up space that we've got here. We've got two Flex pods there on the table with the touch panel. We've got a Hudley IQ camera there running on the Flex. And again, the cool thing about the Flex pods is, although you can see there are wires, that's just purely to power them. They talk wirelessly back to the Flex system. So there is no cables required for the actual communication. You just need a power cable. It's a USB-C cable in the bottom of them here. So you literally just, that's purely just a USB-C power cable for them. The actual audio communication is decked. So it's an encrypted deck link back to the main base.
Yeah, so you don't need to be able to run a cable from that to the MTR compute unit. You can have more local power at the other end of the desk or whatever it may be, and still have great audio.
And you see I powered it up and it's literally like 10 seconds, bang, it's back in. So again, if you want to move these around the room as well, so literally within a call, if you want to like unplug them, move them around, plug them back in again, you saw that it's like 10 seconds, it's then booted back up. So again, if you want to add a third, add a fourth into your space, just plug them in and power them up. And away you go. And now, yes, MTR Teams certified with those in there. Video Bar 70, which is obviously going through Teams certification. We were demoing that running Teams at Infocom, which is really exciting. BX31 here, Jabra Panicast 50. We love AirMedia, so it's BYOD with the wireless conferencing showing here and wireless sharing over there. Another kind of stand-up area here. This is our AirMedia Connect adapter here. So again, I've not tested this. This is going to be a live seat of your pants demo. So we've got a laptop here. Plug in the AirMedia Connect adapter, and hopefully, there we go. No drivers, no software. Just plugs in and works. This one needs a firmware update. There we go. But yeah, you don't have to push any buttons. You don't have to download any software. You don't have to download any firmware. You plug it in and it works. And if you go into Teams, and let's click on a new meeting.
Yeah, this is the critical thing, right? It's pushing through the audio video through that wireless link as well, isn't it? So you can bring your laptop into the room and do the Teams meeting with the Jabra bar there without having to fiddle about with direct connectivity.
Yeah, and again, so I literally gone in here and you can see that's now using the Panicast as my video in the room here. So again, I can choose to use whichever audio device I want. I can use the AirMedia, or I can use the speakers on the laptop. Again, no drivers to install, nothing to download, just plug in the adapter and away you go. And then
and that now Microsoft are kind of working on that optimized BYOD scenario. That plays really nice as well.
Now, this is the flagship room. This is what we call our Sightline Experience. So this is a large room. We've got displays and the i12s all dotted around the room. So you can see we've got like 2 screens on that wall, 2 cameras on that wall, camera down the end, 2 screens, 2 screens, 2 cameras. And then, sorry if everyone's getting seasick, 2 screens down there. If I come up to the head of the table, there's a couple of things I'll show you in here. So hot off the press of Infocom, we announced that we're doing third-party control for other Windows MTRs. So Crestron has always had the ability to do what we call the page flip. So in this Teams interface that everyone's familiar with, it's a standard Microsoft Teams interface, you've got your room control buttons here. So you can press that, and then you can have all the controls for the room, the blinds, the shades, the AV, all that kind of stuff in there. And that's a Crestron control system. That has always been exclusive to Crestron. But what we announced at Infocom, and we were actually showing a Logi Tap and a Rally Bar Pro on the Crestron booth with this same experience. So on the Tap, again, you had the Teams interface with that ability to flip the page and then have all of your room controls in the Logi Tap or the Poly G series or the Lenovo.
This is really great for customers, right? So they're a Crestron customer, they use Crestron control, but they've decided to put Rallies out or Poly for whatever reason. They can still get that Crestron control experience on those vendors' MTRW. It's really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So if I join a call here, again, I think Tracy hopefully has set this up for me. So I'm just going to join this call. You'll see as I join the call, the blinds come down in the room. So again, it is fully automated. And again, this is the whole point of a Crestron experience, is that when you join the call, you don't do anything. The lights go to the right point, the blinds go to the right point. You concentrate on your meeting, not the technology in the room. And this is a full automate VX. So as you say, we've however many cameras, I lost count of how many cameras there are in this room, depending on where you're sitting.
Yeah.
So I'm always seeing the far end. So again, we've mocked up the far end as these 2 people on the screen. So if I'm looking down the table, I'm seeing them there. If I'm looking across the table, I'm seeing them there. If I'm looking across this way, then I'm seeing them. So wherever direction I'm looking, I'm always seeing the far end. I'm not sort of swinging around my head back and forth like a tennis match to the screens at the end of the table. And there's always cameras that can pick me up. I mean, again, a lot of people have got these kind of center of the room systems, these Pringle tins that they're putting in the middle of the 360 cameras, but they're missing the point of having displays around the room as well. And again, this is AV over IP technology that Crestron has got. And again, this is a certified Microsoft solution. But what's really cool is, again, if we go into I'll try and find the button here. If I go into our room controls here, I've got different layouts. So at the moment, I'm kind of full screen there, you can see, but I can then bring up a picture in picture. So again, this is what people in Teams would see. So they see me as the active speaker, but they can see the context of the room. Or we can go to a dynamic Q&A mode. So they'll see me, and they'll see one of the other cameras, which again, you can set up as the last 2 active speakers and things like that. We can do a triple view, which then gives you, multiple views of the room there. We can also do things like, content. Again, we can have a graphic or a logo, and you can customize these layouts.
This is stuff you can tune in Automate VX, right? So you can decide on your particular predisposed layouts, or you can change them around.
Exactly. So you're not just sending like one, because again, most systems would just send that as your camera feed to the Teams room systems. Again, we've got this laid out here as, as I say, picture in picture and dynamic Q&A, but you can have like a conversation mode. You can have all sorts of other modes on there. And I don't know if we're going to go crazy here. I'm going to push this button here, which is our new visual AI function. If I can get it to work, I might turn that off, I think. Tracy did tell me what to do. I'll probably break it already. So this is our new visual AI mode, because normally what happens is that with these multi-camera solutions from Crestron and other vendors, we use audio coordinates from the microphone. So in this case, we've got Shure MXA 920 sealing arrays in here, and they'll give us the coordinates to say, okay, go switch to that camera, go switch to that camera. And you predetermine those coordinates. But what we've done with this is that we've added the ability, let's see if I've made it work. I might have to push another button, but it should actually then track to me live as well. I don't know, to do something else, probably turn off picture in picture or something, I don't know. But Tracy showed me earlier. So it will use those presets from the sealing arrays, but then it uses the visual AI of my face, the T of the eyes, the nose, and the mouth, to then track in on me. So again, if I stand up, sit down, move, it will still track me if it doesn't get coordinates from the microphone. So that's the new feature that's on Automate VX as well. So that's really exciting that we're demoing in this space here.
That's really cool. It's a really premium experience to have all those angles and all those options to get a really good picture of it. They say when you've got people sitting across the desks, then you've got a good framing of each side.
Yeah, and again, if I come around here and move to this chair, hopefully it will switch to me sitting here. So I'm now sitting across the table. Actually, I turned the tracking off. Actually, this is what happens when you let Neil loose on the demo system. They're going to kill me and they're going to break it. Speaker tracking on, meeting mode default shot. This, as I say, Tracy gave me literally a 2-minute training session about how to use the room here, and let me just flick it all back on. So hopefully that should be
cameraman talent and room configuration all in one.
Yeah, I can sing and dance as well, hopefully at the same time, and so it should switch to me in a second. But so that's the Automate VX room here in the CEC, running the Sightline experience in this room here. So again, multiple cameras, multiple displays, all working together. Let me switch that back off. Return to meetings. Hang that up there. So again, that's all here. And again, as I hang up the call, you see the blinds then reopening. So again, all synchronized up together in that experience in the room. There we go.
Very cool.
And that's kind of the whistle-stop tour.
So this is a facility that customers can come and tour, and you're going to be doing a similar thing in New York when you launch the place there as well.
Yeah, so New York, so I was in there yesterday. It's amazing, the space. So it's right downtown in Midtown Manhattan. And I don't know what this camera view is like. I can't see my screen. I've turned it all around. Hopefully
it's all good.
See me.
You're in frame.
So, yeah, so Midtown, New York, 200 Lexington. There's a massive LG video wall going in there. Again, we've got Automate VX in there. We've got the dual i12s in there, FlexPods in there. And again, there's going to be a home residential space as well as the commercial space in there as well. So being able to see both sides of the story. I keep saying we should get marine in there as well, but I think it'd be hard to get a super yacht in there as well to demo that side of the portfolio.
That's so cool. Thanks for giving us the tour. If people want to find out more, obviously head to the Crestron website, or if they're in New Jersey or even nearer in New York, then talk to your relevant Crestron person about getting a little tour. I think it's a super impressive facility.
Yeah, shout out to the guys also in London as well. So we've got the London facility, so down over in the city of London as well. Nothing to this size and scale, but we do have Automate VX set up there with the multiple cameras running the visual AI down in London as well. So again, go down and check that out as well if you're in London. I think there's one in Paris, again, all over the globe, but certainly the flagship ones are here in New Jersey and New York if you are in the States.
Awesome. Thanks, Neil. Appreciate the time.
Thanks, Tom.